guys, before we start the official meeting letter, I just want to check everyone's progress first because the client emailed me again around midnight yesterday. They are expecting the final presentation tomorrow morning, and honestly, they've been very strict about the quality and timing for this campaign. So today is really important for all of us.
Honestly, Jiha, I barely slept last night trying to complete the marketing proposal and sponsorship report because the client kept requesting changes until almost midnight. I had to redo the campaign timeline twice just to match their latest requirements. So right now, I'm really hoping we are already closing to finishing everything because mentally, I think everyone is already exhausted.
I know, Farah, and I appreciate your effort. I checked your proposal this morning and everything looks very organized already. That's why I need the whole team to stay focused today so we can avoid last minute problems tonight. Ikwan, how's the teaser video and poster design? Yesterday you mentioned that you were almost done with the final editing, so I just want to confirm whether everything is on schedule before I update the client letter.
Yes, Jiha. The poster design is almost completed already, but the teaser video still needs a few adjustments because the rendering process took much longer than I expected. I'm still fixing some animation transitions and color correction because after reviewing the draft again last night, I realized a few things didn't look smooth enough for the presentation screen.
Equine, honestly, this is exactly what frustrates me every single time we get close to the deadline. The whole team starts panicking because your part is still unfinished while everyone else is already trying to settle these final preparations. I understand that you care about quality and I respect that because your designs are always creative. I don't deny that. But at some point, we also need to prioritize timing and teamwork. The presentation is literally tomorrow morning, and hearing that the teaser video is still incomplete honestly makes me really stressed.
I understand why you're angry, Farah, but at the same time, I also feel like nobody is trying to understand my situation properly. I am not purposely delaying the project because I don't care about the deadline. Since the intern resigned last week, I have been handling almost all the revisions and editing work alone. On top of that, the editing software crashed multiple times yesterday while rendering the video, so I had to restart several parts from the beginning. I know I should update the team earlier, but honestly, I thought I could settle everything myself without becoming a burden to everyone.
But that's exactly the issue, Ikwan. You always try to handle everything alone until the situation becomes critical, and only then the team finds out there's actually a delay happening behind the scenes. If you had informed us earlier yesterday, maybe we could have adjusted the workload together or find another solution before things become this stressful. Instead, now we are entering the final day before presentation and still dealing with incomplete materials.
And honestly, Farah, you know what? Sometimes it's difficult to communicate with you because every time I explain a problem, the conversation immediately becomes tense and emotional. I know you care about the project, but the way you react sometimes makes people feel even more pressured instead of supported.
Okay, I think both of you are already too stressed right now. And honestly, I can understand both perspectives. Farah is worried because of the deadline is extremely close, while Ikwan is overwhelmed trying to maintain the quality of project under pressure. But if this conversation continues emotionally, we are not going to solve anything. Let's continue discussion properly in the meeting room in another 10 minutes. Alright, before we continue with client preparation, I need an honest update from both of you because right now the project timeline is already becoming risky. We don't have much time left anymore, so I need realistic expectations instead of almost done.
That's exactly my concern too, Miss Jiha, because right now the biggest issue isn't even the workload anymore. It's communication because every time we approach deadline, the team only discovers problem at the very last minute. And then suddenly everyone else need to rush and adjust their work because one section isn't completed on time.
But I already explained earlier that I was trying to solve this issue myself first, before worrying the team unnecessarily. I didn't want anyone panicking over technical problems that I thought I could handle alone.
But that decision affected everyone else too, IKHWAN. This isn't an individual project where you can quietly manage problems by yourself. We are working as a team. And when communication breaks down, the entire workflow becomes unstable. I've been staying back almost every night this week, trying to make sure everything stays organized. So naturally, I get frustrated when important tasks are still incomplete at the last minute.
And I've also been staying back every night trying to make sure the final visuals actually look professional enough for the client. Sometimes I feel like you only focus on deadlines without understanding the pressure involved in producing beautiful good design takes time too.
Thing is, I'm not asking for perfection, IKHWAN. I'm asking for responsibility and proper updates. Because at the end of the day, even the best designs become useless if the client presentation fails because materials aren't ready on time.
And at the end of the day, constantly praising people so affects performance. Every time you raise a voice or criticize me publicly, I lose confidence and become even more anxious while working.
Okay, enough. Both of you are clearly have valid frustrations, but this discussion is becoming personal already instead of professional. Right now, we need solution, not more emotional argument.
I'm emotional because I'm exhausted this year. Every single project deadline becomes chaotic, and somehow I always end up carrying extra responsibilities. Because why? Things aren't completed on schedule.
And I am exhausted too because I constantly feel like every mistake automatically becomes my fault before anyone even listens to my explanation properly.
Fine, I think this situation already needs HR involvement because it's starting to affect teamwork and workplace communication. I will arrange a mediation session immediately before this conflict becomes worse.
Yes, about the project. Wait, okay, coming. Okay, sorry. Okay, thank you both of you for coming. Okay, Jiha already explained the situation to me, but before we begin, I want this discussion to remain respectful and professional. The purpose of this issue and this meeting is not to blame anyone, but to understand the real issue and find the solution that help both employees that the team to moving forward.
I respect and understand that because honestly, I don't get IKHWAN personally. I'm just mentally exhausted because every time deadlines become close, I feel like the pressure suddenly falls onto me to make sure that everything stays organized. And I've been trying to protect the project and the team, but after a while, the stress becomes overwhelming and my frustration starts affecting the way I communicate.
Thank you for being honest, Farah. So, from your perspective, the biggest issue is the feeling of carrying too much responsibility and dealing with the last minute uncertainty. Is that correct?
Exactly. I don't mind helping teammates, but when delays happen repeatedly without proper communication, it starts affecting trust and teamwork too.
Okay, understood. Ikwan, what about your perspective?
I admit that my communication could have been better and I should have informed the team earlier about the delays. But at the same time, I've also been struggling under pressure quietly for weeks. When Farah criticizes me publicly or raises her voice during stressful situation, I become anxious and shut down mentally. Sometimes I avoid speaking because I feel like whatever I say will only make the situation worse.
Okay, thank you for explaining honestly. Actually, both of you are demonstrating very different conflict management styles, and Farah, your behavior reflects a competing approach where you focus strongly on urgency, control, and result. Meanwhile, Ikwan tends to avoid confrontation completely until stress builds up internally.
That sounds accurate, honestly.
Yeah, I really dislike arguments. And that difference is exactly why the conflict escalates. When one employee becomes more aggressive under pressure, while other employees avoid communication, misunderstanding become larger very quickly. Besides that, your personality are also different based on the behavioral styles. Farah reflect a dominant personality, direct, fast-paced, and highly focused on achievement. IKHWAN reflect a steadiness personality, calm, careful, and emotional sensitive under pressure.
So basically, we communicate in a different way, right?
Yeah, exactly. Their personality is strong, but problem happen when other people expect the same communication style from each other.
That actually explains a lot.
Another important issue here is emotional trigger, or what we call hot buttons. Farah becomes frustrated when she feels people are being irresponsible or missing deadline. Meanwhile, IKHWAN becomes emotionally affected when criticized publicly or aggressively. Now, instead of focusing on blame, I want both of you to focus on solution together. Farah, what do you need from IKHWAN moving forward?
Alright, as for me, I need an earlier updates and more honest communication whenever problems happen, even if the issue isn't solved yet.
Yeah, good. IKHWAN?
Okay, for my side, I need to be delivered more properly and privately instead of publicly during stressful situations.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, I think good. And that's what the collaboration looks like. Both sides understanding each other and needs and working toward mutual solution instead of attacking each other emotionally.
So what's the final agreement to the mediation section?
Okay, starting from today, first, team members must provide earlier progress updates. Second, concerns should be communicated professionally and privately. Third, weekly project check-ins will be implemented. And fourth, workload distribution will be monitored more fairly.
Okay, that sounds reasonable.
Alright, I will improve my communication and management after this.
And I will improve the way I handle stress and communicate with my teammates.
Yeah, good. Remember, conflict in the workplace is normal. What the matter most is how the employees manage conflict professionally and learn from it.
Okay, Kwan, I am really sorry for embarrassing you earlier. I didn't mean it.
And I'm really sorry to Farah for making people well with.
Alright, then let's do this project properly together.
Okay, meeting is dismissed.